I've never met a man whose growth, relationally, personally, or otherwise, didn't come from a long line of women who were damaged. It's for this that I have a lot of concern with how men see women and their life, their humanity, as acceptable collateral damage for their journey of self and personal development. When you accept the damaging of other people, or the fact that other people are just simply not as human as you are, as a necessary component of your growth, then you will always seek that and relate it to how you improve yourself without real regard for the harm it causes. There's a way that men move through relationships where I find they often learn really difficult lessons at the expense of women, and when that relationship becomes too hostile, too resent-filled, or the woman kind of shuts down and divests, they move on. And then they kind of integrate pieces of those learnings into their next relationship with a person who doesn't have the same level of anger, resentment, or awareness of their pattern of toxic behaviors. And then when that woman is exhausted or burnt out or angry or resentful, they move on and do it again. And this pattern of learning fundamentally operates on the idea of not seeing women as reciprocal partners in relationship. And so I think my practice of decentering men has largely been with this awareness, right? I've never had a relationship with a man that reciprocated the level of intentionality, willingness to change, willingness to be apologetic, empathy. And I've often found myself in these really difficult situations of in the shower kind of thinking up different metaphors to explain the concept of an apology, the red flag of failing to repair, and then the redder flag of failing to repair that failure to repair. All of these concepts are things that I've drawn maps for men to understand. I've made lists of what my needs are when I'm looking for repair, or what my apology language is. All of these things and all of these conversations have really landed in pretty much the same sort of relationship for me, which is men kind of willing to engage with the concept of these things up until the point where it threatens their sense of self. Because when dialogue or the desires of a partner, or the concept of reciprocity threaten a man's sense of self, the conversation is over. And that is when you will find dismissiveness, gaslighting, anger, vitriol, negging, and a total depedestaling of you as a partner and a person. I'm not saying that this is every man in the world. I'm saying this reflects the experience of me and a lot of the women and femmes in my life. And I think this comment really resonates, that women leave relationships with men feeling like the life has drained out of them, and men leave relationships with women kind of more prepared to interact in different and maybe slightly improved ways for the next one. And all of that really relies on the concept that a woman is kind of disposable unless they're in service to the man. And so that innate desire that we all have for a mutual exchange, for a just and fair relationship, for reciprocity, to feel like we are in each other's care, to feel like we are giving what we receive, kind of falls apart when you realize that at best, you're kind of a stepping stone or a mirror for the best version of a man, and at worst, you're a threat to his ego and therefore something to be discarded.